Hi people, so today we are going to see how we can fill this registration form via Codeceptjs Playwright automation, and we can submit the form. So it is a very simple steps which is involved, like just filling the name and other details and just selecting from the drop down, and we are going to click on this submit button. That's it. So it is a very simple automation of dummy registration form with Codeceptjs Playwright. So let's get started. I have already created one folder on my desktop here. I have created one folder and I have opened that in this Visual Studio Code IDE, and in this video I am using this Visual Studio Code as an IDE for Codeceptjs Playwright. So here the first step is like we need to, for any JavaScript project, what we need to do is like we need to first have the package.json file to have all the dependencies onto the JavaScript project. Okay, so for that what we need to do, npm init -y. So this -y will create the package.json file automatically with all the details pre-filled. But if you want step by step, which you want to fill the details for all the questions it needs to be asked, then we can skip this -y and you can just give the npm init. Okay, now I can see the package JSON file has been created for me, and now we need to have this Codeceptjs installed. So now I am going to do this automation with the Playwright. So I have gone to the official website of the Codeceptjs Playwright, and here you can see the guide section. Under that you can check whatever helper you are going to use. So in the Codeceptjs we will have this terminology called helpers. Helpers is nothing but which specific automation tool you are going to use for your automation project. So right now I am going to do on the web, and for the web I have chosen Playwright. So for the web we have the other tools also available on the Codeceptjs, which has the inbuilt support, which is Puppeteer, WebDiver, TestCafe, like that. Okay, so for now in this tutorial I am going to use the Playwright automation tool in the Codeceptjs. So that's why I have just clicked this link, and now I have been navigated to this page. So here they have give pretty much information, and I have done already a video very long back on how to set up the Playwright in a very detailed steps. You can refer to that video. Here I am going to go a little bit quick on setting up the process. Here the steps are very easy. It has the multiple browser support also. Here you can as they have mentioned. So Chromium is there. Actually with the Playwright we don't have the Chrome browser, it's a Chromium browser we have, but it's same as like Chrome, and then WebKit, Firefox and Electron. Okay, so here I'm going to give this command. Sorry, let me copy this. Then here I'm going to give so this command basically installs the Codeceptjs and the Playwright, and it will be saved under the dev dependencies. So it is doing up. And for one more thing we need to remember is like, as this is a JavaScript project, we need to have the node installed in our system before even you going to use any npm commands. Okay, so here if you see, the Codeceptjs has been installed, which is the latest version on the Codeceptjs platform. Here you can check always the latest version releases in the Codeceptjs official website under releases section, and we are going to use the Playwright. So with the command we have used, it has been installed Codeceptjs Playwright as a single step. Okay, now this is the Codeceptjs and Playwright have been installed on our node modules and on our project. So now what we need to do is like any JavaScript to be have initialized, we need to have use the command npm init. So in the same way, to initialize the Codeceptjs, we need to use this command which have been provided by the Codeceptjs team itself, is called npx Codeceptjs init. So now I'm going to run this command. So here they are asking, do we have any plan to write test in TypeScript? For now in this tutorial I am going to do it in the JavaScript, so I am not going to use the TypeScript. So I am going to give n, and it is telling where are your tests located. It is asking actually. So here if you see the grayed out the information, whatever it is showing, it is the default one. If you don't want to change anything, or if you don't have any preferred location, let it go with the same default location as it has been showed here. You can use just give enter, no need to type anything. But if you want to have any specific folder structure, like for example if you want to have all the tests to be in under the test folder, then you can give that path. So tests, and then you can use test. Now here if you see, it is asking which helpers. So as I said earlier, in Codeceptjs we will have the terminology called helpers. So in this we are going to use the Playwright. And this is also again the same. It is showing the default location. They are telling it will be stored under the output folder, the logs, screenshots and reports. So for now I'm going with the default location. So I didn't do anything, I didn't type anything extra, I just gave enter. Here it is asking for the localization for the test, the language one. I'm going with the English, and it is telling you in which browser you are going to perform the automation. For now I'm going to go with the Chromium itself. If you want to give the Firefox, you can type the Firefox. Okay, and the basic URL of the site to be tested. For now I'm going with the default, but later also we can change if we want any specific URL to be navigated. And it is asking whether it can be headless or headed mode. So if it is asking if you are giving yes, then it is like headed mode, and if you are giving n, it won't show any browser, then that is headless. So for now I just want to show how it is filling on the dummy registration form. So I am not going with the headless mode. For now I'll go with the headed mode. You can see in this panel how it is getting created. So for now we have all this configuration file with all the details we have provided. So here the test, if you feel like you don't want to go with this one, you can right away change the folder also. So it is just to let the Codeceptjs know where are our tests located, so that it can pick it up and run when we give the specific run commands on the Codeceptjs. So that is the use of this test and the test's location here, where whatever we pass. If the test path is not proper, then it can't pick it up properly and it will throw the error. Now it is asking, it is going to create a new test, and it is asking the name of the test. So here we are going to fill the registration form. So what I am doing is like registration form filling. Now it is showing how the file name, test file name looks like. So it is telling it looks like this, registration form filling underscore test.js. Why it is appending underscore test.js is because we have provided that our test should end with in the format what we have gave here while we are initializing the Codeceptjs. So if you see, now it has been all the tests, our test whatever we create here will fall under the folder test with the name we have been provided. Okay, I think till here I hope it's clear, but if anything is not clear, please feel free to post it in the comments. I'll be there to reply to you. Okay, by these steps the setting up of the Playwright is done. Okay, but still if you want to have any specific other properties, you can set it up. And here whatever they are telling right now, as a part of initializing the project, it has been asked these steps automatically. But consider if you are going to create a new test, that time there is a command you can use, npx codeceptjs gt. So if you give this command, it will again ask the same, which feature name and file name of the test, and it will create it. Okay, so no need to do late. I hope the setting up of the Codeceptjs Playwright steps are pretty much clear and easy. Let me go through how we can automate the filling of the registration form. So here, let me go to the configuration file. For example, if you want to have the demo site URL, you can directly paste it here. Okay. So I have pasted it here, and if you have, and I have pasted the URL here. And for now I am just taking out this slash here. I'll tell you why in the coming steps. So this is the URL it will be navigate to. Now how we can start with our steps. Here if you see, help us, Playwright, you can see all the functions that has been given built in. You can right away use all those. Okay, so here I am on page. So this is the function they have provided inbuilt, where we need to pass the URL so that it will launch the that particular page on the browser. So basically this command is to open the web page in a browser with a specific URL what we have been passed on the configuration file or on in this function. And one more thing here we need to observe is like we can give just slash, and whatever the URL we are going to give here, it is going to append with the URL what we have been provided in this URL attribute of the under the helper section. So for example here I am going to give am on page. So what it will do is like this slash will be going to append at the end. So whatever you are going to here, you can it will append the URL attribute value with this whatever the value we have been passed inside this function. Okay, and if you don't want to have any URL, you can just leave this empty also. What you can do, you can take it out everything here and you can put URL empty, and you can give the entire URL here also. Okay, it's all based on the requirement or how you are going to open the web page and how the URL you are going to use in your application. Okay, but generally the base URL we can give it here. For example, consider if you think for your application the way to auto, for example consider the way to automation.com is your application that you are going to work on, and after that whatever the remaining URL may be dynamic, and if you think this is the base URL for your application, you can always have the base URL under this helper section configuration file, and the whatever the URL will be there here. For example, I'll go it here, I'll paste it here. Okay, so what it will does is like always the base URL will be the same, and you are going to change to the append the URL to whichever page you are going to navigate. Okay, so now we have been navigated to that page. Okay, now let us check whether it is navigating to that page or not. So how we can run the test in the Codeceptjs, we have the command npx Codeceptjs run, and you need to pass the path. So we have the path test and then registration, form filling, test.js. Okay, I think to have this browser executables, we need to give this Playwright install. So let us give this Playwright install. So you can see it is downloading all those Chromium and browsers. Okay, now all the browsers has been installed. Now let us try to run the test. It's already opened. We have just given to navigate this page to make sure that it has been navigated and visible. I'm just going to give this wait command. So we are telling it explicitly to wait for 5 more seconds to just make sure that you all can see it has been opened that page. You can see, right, it has been opened that page. Correct? Okay. Now what we need to do is like we need to have this form, whatever is there here, we need to check the title of it, and we need to make sure if the title is the same, then we will go to this. So this is the general check what we do for any registration form or any page we are going to automate. So first thing is like we need to make sure whether we have been navigated onto the page we are expecting. So what I am expecting is like the page name. I am going to check it. If it is matching with the name which I was expecting, then I will go proceed and filling all the details, and then I will submit it. Okay. So for this, first we need to get the locators. So here they have given like this, the locators. What I am going to do is like, you can give Control F and directly give the XPath or CSS selector or whatever it may be. So I can, if you want to give this with directly the string, you can go with the XPath, or what we can do is like, there are two ways. We can directly get the attribute value of it and then assert with the expectation value, or directly you can give in an XPath saying if h3 to find an element with a h3 tag of the text dummy registration form. So either ways we can do, but I will show you the either ways how it will be working. Okay, so first let us go with the XPath here. I'm going to use wait for element. What they're telling is here, directly we can pass the path, and then if you want to give any wait, then we can give the wait. Let us check with this. Passed. So it is actually there. So now we will see how it will work while fetching it and asserting with the expectation. So what we need to do, we'll go there and we will find it with the, okay, here we are going to check with the CSS selector and we are going to fetch this text and we are going to see whether this text has been there or not. For that, first we will check we have any function available here. So here we can see the C element and all, and if you want to get the text, you will have the grab text from. Okay, or if it is a title of the page, then you can get the grab title. But here we are going to get the text. It is not a title of the page, so we need to use the grab text from. And we can see C text equals. So these are all the functions which we can use to validate the text, whether it has been equal or not as per our expectation. So here with the CSS selector we can check. Okay, and here if we I can see the class has been unique. So what I can do, I can just remove this. H3. So we have only one element founded with this CSS selector. I'm going to use this here. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to wait for element, which is this one, for some 3 seconds, and then I'm going to fetch the text. So what is the function for that? Grab text from. And you can see for the grab text function, we can see the promise. It is a promise function. So we need to actually resolve the promise. In JavaScript, we have the concept of this promises, which is for all the Ajax calls and all. To have that have been resolve the promise, so they are telling us we need to be used inside async with await. How they are telling is like we need to use the await to get the promise resolved and get whatever the text has been it has been taken out from that page. It will be resolved and it will be stored in a variable like this. So here we are also going to use in the same. So what they are telling is we need to use the await. Now if you see here, we can see an error because await can be used only inside an async function. Here we didn't mention anywhere that this is an async function, so it is throwing an error. So we need to let the script know that it is an async function and we are using this await to get the result promised, so that we can have the text which we are telling the script to grab it from the element. So I am going to save it in the registration form title, grab text from this. Okay, so now what we need to do, we have been waited for that element and we have grabbed the text. Now we need to see whether it's been getting matched or not. So C text equals, and here they have mentioned how we can use it. So check that text is equal to the provided one. So whatever the text we have got here is being equal to the form title on the page. Okay. Now we will see how it works. What it is telling, one has been failed. So we will see why it has been failed. Element dummy registration form was not found. Text, I wait for element, this is also fine, this is also fine. Dummy registration form, these two also seems fine. Okay, first we will see what it is getting returned. Okay, console.log registration form title. Okay, so that we can know where it is actually failing and why is it actually failing. It is the element itself not found. Dummy registration form was not found by text or CSS or XPath. Okay, but here it is getting identified. Let us check with the XPath it is working fine or not. So with XPath I don't see any issue. So with the CSS I see an issue here. Yes. So with the CSS it is throwing some error. Let us put it as a 5 and check. No, even though it is waiting for that much amount of time, still it is telling it is not getting identified. Let me cross check. And here it says it is there. So let me change this to this one and we'll check with this. No. Element dummy registration form, but I can see it is actually fetching the value here, and here even we can see it is even printing also the registration form title. But what is the problem here? Let me comment this. Element not found. But it is fetching here. Sharing graph text from, then C text equals assert element exists, new element not found. So let me give some explicit weight here and check what is. No. Okay, no problem. First, then what we will do, we'll just check first how many elements are there and we'll print it. So console.log wait I.grab number of visible elements of this particular element. Okay. Here still we can see there is one element and it is fetching the value also, but there is something misleading error here we can see. Dummy registration form was not found. Let me see in which step actually it is throwing that error. Okay, text equals only it is throwing that error. So we will see how the C text equals we need to use. Okay, C text equals checks the text is equals to the provided one. text and then context element located by, oh, okay. So here we no need to pass the text actually. We can have this one here itself, the locator. Okay, so now we will see how it works. Oh, okay. Here only we need to have this dummy registration form title. Okay, now we will run it. Expected element to equal dummy registration form. Okay, these are all in caps. Oh, okay. So what it is telling is like this element, we have been asking it to check whether it has been equal to the dummy registration form. It is very strict equal, so that's why it is checking for the case also. Here we can see the dummy registration form on the web page is in capitals completely, and here we have been copied it from this value, which is a little bit normal camel case, so that's why that is not normal capital and lowercase, so that's why it is throwing that error saying these texts are not equal. So I'm going to change it to the capitals only, and now we will see. Expected element dummy registration form. Oh my god, sorry guys, lot of silly mistakes here, but that's fine. I hope it will be a learning also for all of us. So here you can see it has been passed, and you can whenever you have some doubt that it is not getting the list of the elements, or it is not identifying the element, or you can always use this grab number of visible elements, by which you can understand how many elements are there on the web page, and you can do whatever the process or whatever the automation you need to do. Okay, I have completed till that step. Now we can see these steps, how we can enter the name, phone, email, and this drop down values, how to select, and city, username and password, and clicking on the submit button. Okay, so here generally while doing automation, everyone will have their own style of validating the labels, and then checking the elements presence, and then filling up the values, so everything. So here I am not going into much detail of validating the labels and then going and filling the details, nothing like that. But if you want to validate that one, you can use the same process how we have used here. Either you can directly pass it and we can wait for the element, or we can check for the element. So here in the Playwright we can see one function which is see element. So with this you can check whether that element is available or not. So for example, if you want to check this name label is available in this particular dummy registration form, then you can just use this function see element and get the locator of this name label and pass it to this see element function. Okay, like that you can validate the presence of all the label elements here on this dummy registration form, and then you can go ahead and start filling up the values. So for now I am skipping up this step, as I have already mentioned how we can validate it. Okay, so right now we can straight away go to the values filling up in this text boxes. Okay, so here for the name, so here you can see we can use this input, which is name equals to name. So let me check if this is only single element with the CSS selector, what we are going to write it up. So there is only one element here. If you go it is only highlighting. How I am saying if it is one element identifying or multiple elements identifying is because of this number. Okay, so with this you can make sure that the whatever the element locator you are writing here, it is pointing to that same element what we are expecting. So now you can, it has been highlighted the same element what we are expecting here. So if you put my mouse over on that highlighted element, it will show that on the website. So this is the right locator for me. So I'm going to copy it and I'm going to use it here. So here if you see, till now we have validated the title. Now I'm going to wait for the element. Okay, so as here we are using the single quotes, I mean the locator inside the single quotes, it's better to have it inside a whatever the string or the value we are passing inside the locator, you can have it as a double quotes to avoid the confusion to the script. In case if you don't want to use it, what you can do is you can use the backslash here. So that is also fine. So anything you can follow. Okay, and now I'm waiting for that element, and now what I need to do, I need to input this box with the whatever the data I need to pass it. So here I'm going to pass the name. So if I go here into the Playwright, what are all the functions are there for that? Fill field. So it is a fills the text field or the text area after clearing its value with a given string. So if you are using this one, we don't need to use explicitly to clear the value. It will automatically clear it and give with the given string. So they have already shown how we can pass it. We need to pass it with the locator and the text we need to with which the text it needs to be filled on this value. So I'm going here, I'm going to use fill field, first the locator, and then we need to pass the text with which we need to fill it. So let me give it as automation. Okay, so till now we'll just run the script and see, and to make it more visible, I'm giving an explicit wait of some time so that you people can see whether it is filling with this one or not. Okay, what is the command to run the script? Yes, npx Codeceptjs run, and you need to pass the JS test file path from the root folder, because we are in the root folder, which is Codeceptjs Playwright. Okay, so I'm running it. See, you people can see, right? So it has just validated the text and then identified the text field value with a locator, and then it filled with whatever the value we have given here. So on this website we can see the lot of the same input field values, and we can use the same method like wait for that element and use the fill field function to fill all the details inside of those registration form. Now let us see this drop down one. Okay, how it works. We'll just go here and see. So they are using this select tag with lot of options. It's basically a drop down, picking up a value from the drop down. We will see first in Playwright, do we have any function to select the value from the drop down. So I'm just checking those. Save C element, no. See, select option, yes. What they are saying, selects an option in a drop down select. Field is searched by label and option is selected by visible text or by value. So here they have given little examples also, like select by label or match option by text or by value. Like that we can use. For example, if there is an option for the drop down to select the multiple options, we can pass it in the form of an array so that it will select the multiple options. Okay, so for us we don't have the multiple selection options, so that's why we can just go with a single option. So what's the function is there for here? for the drop down select, and we know that they are using the select only, and we are going to select the values from the option tags. So it correctly matches with our requirement, and we can right away use this function. So what I am doing, so select option, here I dot first wait for that element and then select option. Okay, so what is this element here? Select with name country. Okay, now I'm going to use that. And here what they are telling, we can pass the locator also, or you can pass the any particular title is there for the drop down, you can pass that also. Okay, now here I'm going to that locator only. So I'll go here, I'll give the locator and which value I want it to select. Right now it's auto selected by default, it is been to India. So let me check with here any Canada like that. Okay, so now let us run this. We'll see how it works. You can see it has been changed to Canada. Okay, that's how we can handle the drop down with the Playwright with all the existing functions. So now to fill up the remaining values, I am going to follow the same functions what we have used here, like fill field and wait for elements. So those only we repeatedly need to use, and to fill the all the other values. So here let me go with so how many are there here? Phone, email. So totally 5 are there here. So let me give 5 set of those. Okay. Let me check what and all is there here. So input name phone, I'm going to change it here as phone, and then email, okay, and then is a drop down, and then is the city, then we have username and password, which is username here, and then password. Okay, so now let me give the values here. So it is telling phone, okay, and then it is telling email, city, I'll go with the same, username is LearnAutomation, password is automation 1 2 3 4 5. Okay, now let us check how it works. Why username and password has not been entered? I think it has been thrown some error or what. we'll see what is this error. Timeout collecting. Oh, maybe this is not an input or what. This is input only, input name, username. Let me cross check again. So input, okay, it is showing two values, so that's why this problem has come. It is inside id login, it is inside id load form. So let me give in front of this, but still it is saying. Okay, let me see any unique word is there here. I think Ajax submit must be the unique, like how we have used it before. Yes, we can see only the single one. So I'm going to copy this. So please make sure whenever you are using, we can able to find only single element. If there are multiple elements, so we are going to face these kind of issues again and again. So to avoid that, it is always good while we are having something to be used on our scripts. Okay, I hope it works now. Yes, now we need to have this submit button clicked. Okay, so for that what we need to get the locator for the submit. Can use button, value is submit. Here also it shows 2 elements, so again we can use the same class here. It is only single one, so here I dot wait for element and then I dot click. Okay, so that's it. So with this step what will happen, it will enter all the details, select the value from the drop down, and then it will click on the submit. So we are going to run this final run. So see, this is the text it is coming, which we can make sure that we have clicked on the submit button, because that is the only proof that it has been clicked on submit button. Okay, so let me fill those dummy details here for now. So this is the text which is the proof that we have clicked the submit button. So we can validate that also. Check. So P ID alert. So we can use this. So it is a P tag alert. So what we can do, we can get the text. So I dot wait for element and then we need to get that alert text. So always for grab, as it is a promise function, we need to always use await. Okay, and here grab text from it, and then we'll see any other function is there where we can directly validate the text. Okay, see text equals, we know for that we need to directly pass the value, but let us check if any other is there to cross check. Okay, I think that part I'll cover it in another video. For now, just we will go with the same. See text equals, first we need to have the string, and then the element locator. So from here we can get the string, okay. Now we'll run this. See, it has been passed. Okay, so these are all the steps that we need to do to fill a registration form. So in this video we have seen how to handle the drop down and how to wait for the element and how to fill the fields or text the entering the text into the text fields and all. Okay, so this is a very simple automation where we can just enter the details and we can do it. Hope this video helps you guys. So please stay tuned and subscribe to my channel for more videos. Thank you.